Let me start with this. No, he's a made man. All right, Kawhi Leonard's already got 2 championships. And he earned those. He's the Finals MVP on a historic San Antonio team with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. And he was the Finals MVP against LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. So that is historic. Then what he did in Toronto. I mean, that's something we rarely see. He brought that country its first championship. He was a mercenary, had 1 season there, and he made it count by winning the ring. So those things have, as I said, solidified him as a made man, probably a top 30, 40 player of all time. But he does need to win a ring in L.A. to live up to the hype that surrounded him when he joined the Clippers. Remember, when he went to the Clippers, he was being called by many the best player in the world. When he went to the Clippers, some were saying he could be a top 10, even top 5 player of all time if he won the championship with the Clippers. People expected, including myself, him to lead the Clippers to the championship in his first season. He had commercials where he called L.A. Kawhi Town, L.A. where the Lakers reside, L.A. where LeBron resides. And he went there. And so for him to live up to all that hype, yes, he does need to deliver a ring. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, he already has lost a 3-1 lead to Denver in a Clippers uniform. So if Kawhi does not win a championship with the Clippers, there will be major disappointment, but also there will be people looking at him a little bit funny, like he wasn't what we thought he was. But his position as a made man can't be taken away, so his legacy is set. But, yeah, it'll be major disappointment if he doesn't get at least 1 championship with the Clippers.
His legacy is definitely secure. I mean, let's be clear on that. I feel like my legacy as a football player is secure, even though I didn't even play in more than 1 playoff game. Yeah, I played in a couple playoff games. I didn't have a whole lot of playoff appearances. How about that? He's secure as one of the greats of all time and doesn't need not 1 more title to do so. You can be a dope player and not have secured it by winning a championship, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. So, for Kawhi, I will agree with you on this, Broussard. I think it definitely bolsters his legacy. I think it is a tremendous boost to the legacy if he's able to bring yet another elusive title to a franchise and a team that he's on. The Clippers are starving, searching, praying, hoping to get a championship. And what did he do when he went to Toronto, as you mentioned? He delivered that to an entire country. Vince sanity was real, and he was unable to get it done. And at one point, they had Vince Carter and T-Mac on the same team and couldn't get it done. And you know who did? That man right there, Kawhi Leonard. So if he's able to do that in L.A., which is an amazing market for basketball, and the Clippers always being the little brother, the stepbrother that gets the leftovers from the Lakers. If he's able to bring, and he is indeed the catalyst of them winning a championship, it certainly takes his legacy and bolsters his reputation and his just his reputation overall as a player. I think it definitely goes to another level, Joy.
Oh, I agree. But his legacy is set. Whether he can bring a championship to the Clippers or not isn't going to change what a dominant player Kawhi was before this injury and what he actually is. Everything Chris said is completely accurate. Let's not just gloss over what Kawhi Leonard has accomplished in his career. The championship with the Spurs was incredible, obviously. But to me, the Toronto championship just shut the door on any conversation about how great Kawhi Leonard is. If he's not the guy that can't win a championship for the Clippers, I'm not going to change my mind about what what Kawhi Leonard is. Nobody can do that. So will it be disappointing for Clippers fans? Sure. Will it be disappointing for me? No, because I bought into the Clippers right away like everybody else did, because I did think that at the moment that he won that championship in Toronto, he was at that moment the best player in the league. And as we're saying with Giannis right now, that might change. It might go back to Kevin Durant. LeBron might resurface 100% and win a championship. We kind of move that mantle around a little bit these days from being the dominance of LeBron every single year. But Kawhi Leonard is untouched. He is a made man, to Chris's point. Whether he brings a championship to the Los Angeles Clippers or not is not going to change my opinion of Kawhi Leonard at all, because that's an extremely, almost impossible thing to do. So if he did bring a championship to the Clippers at this point, I don't even know where we put him in the category of all-time great players. Now, I also don't know that I can expect this to happen. We've seen Kawhi with injuries time and time again. We know we can't fully put it on Paul George to get it done. It is the Los Angeles Clippers, so for whatever reason, they can't seem to pull it all together when it matters. We've seen them blow leads. It is what it is. So it's not going to change my opinion of it. I also expect him to continue throughout his career with some sort of injury situation, because that's what we've seen over the past few years. So that's what I've grown to expect, despite the dominant player that he is. But it's not going to change my opinion whether he wins a championship with the Clippers at all in any way.
At this point for Kawhi, it's about, and I don't think he's thinking this way, but those of us who talk about such things, it's about moving up the all-time list. As I said, now I never thought he was a top 5 player, a top 10 player. But if he can deliver a championship to the Clippers, now he is really moving up the ladder in terms of where we rank him all time, because he's a great two-way player. He's got the mid-range game. Like, he's an awesome player. And so that's what it's about. Like we've all said, he's set, he's made. There's no taking that away from him. But it's now about moving up the ladder. And I hope I'm wrong on this, but I don't think he's going to win it. I don't think he's going to lead the Clippers to a championship. Because I've said Kawhi's an old 29 already. And now he's got this serious knee injury. I think he'll come back and still be a great player. But will he be better than he's already been? And as good as he's already been, he hasn't been able to lead. I know it's only been not even 2 years because he got hurt. But he hasn't led the Clippers to these great heights thus far. Paul George will only be a little bit older when Kawhi gets back, because I don't expect to see him next season. I could be wrong, but I'm not expecting to see him next year. And then you got Luka coming. You've got Giannis, who knows what he's going to continue to develop into. So you've got a lot of Kevin Durant and the guys in Brooklyn. They're about to sign Kyrie and James Harden to long-term deals, so that big three isn't going anywhere. So I don't think that Kawhi will get it done with the Clippers. As Joy said, that's no shame. And I'd like to be wrong, because I think it'd be great if he could bring them a championship. And look, he would be a guy that delivered Toronto his first championship and the Clippers. So now that's when you talk about really putting some spice in his legacy. But I fear that he's not going to be able to do it, LeVar.
Go ahead, Joy. You can have it. I'm kind of out of it on this one, because I'm sitting there thinking about this is a different version of y'all talking about Luka, just the younger version. But go ahead, Joy. I digress. I don't even want to move the goalpost on y'all. Go ahead,
well,
Joy.
I'm going to move the goalpost because I'm with you. I don't think that Kawhi is going to play this year. If he does, it's not going to be extensive.